Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters chasing greatness, let me ask you something. How do you expect to be rich if your mindset is still broke? How do you expect to live in abundance when your habits are grounded in scarcity? Today, I want to talk to you about a powerful principle that has changed lives, built empires, and turned dreams into realities. Act like you're rich before the money comes. I'm not talking about pretending. I'm not talking about faking the lifestyle on social media, driving a car you can't afford, or wearing a watch just to impress people who don't care. No, I'm talking about adopting the mindset, habits, and discipline of wealth before the physical money arrives. I'm talking about carrying yourself with the energy, vision, and commitment of someone who knows their future is wealthy because they've already decided it. Wealth begins in the mind, not the bank account. The simple truth separates those who build lasting success from those who remain stuck in cycles of lack. If your mindset is limited, it doesn't matter how much money you come across, you will eventually sabotage or squander it. But if your thinking is rooted in abundance, discipline, and long-term vision, you'll attract wealth and keep it. Everything begins internally. The way you think about yourself, your potential, your future, and your relationship with money defines how your reality unfolds. The most powerful transformation you can ever go through is not external, it's the transformation of your mindset. There are people walking around today who look rich but are mentally poor. They depend on external validation, material possessions, and appearances to prove something to the world. But deep down, they operate from fear, insecurity, and desperation. On the other hand, there are individuals who don't yet have material wealth but are mentally operating like multimillionaires. They value their time. They invest in personal development. They manage the little they have with wisdom. They speak about ideas, not people. They're disciplined, focused, and preparing for a future they believe in. That's what it means when we say wealth starts in the mind. When you wake up every morning with purpose, clarity, and drive, you are already rich. When you can delay gratification, manage your emotions, and stay focused on long-term goals rather than short-term pleasure, you are building the foundation of true wealth. Money will come and go, but the mindset stays. That mindset is what determines whether you fall apart under pressure or rise above it. That mindset will decide whether you panic in scarcity or move with confidence in seasons of lack. Look at the stories of the world's most successful people. Most of them didn't start rich. They weren't born with millions. What they had was a belief in something greater than their current situation. They had the ability to see beyond what was in their hands and instead focus on what was in their heart. They invested in learning. They took risks. They refused to accept the limitations around them as permanent. They weren't waiting for wealth. They were already thinking like wealthy individuals, and eventually reality caught up to that vision. You don't need a large bank balance to start shifting your mentality. Start with how you speak. Speak like someone who expects success. Stop using phrases that reinforce struggle and defeat. Replace "I can't afford it" with "How can I afford it?" Replace "I'm broke" with "I'm in a season of building." Words are powerful. They shape our beliefs, and our beliefs shape our behavior. Next, look at how you carry yourself. Do you walk into rooms with confidence? Do you dress with intention? Not for vanity, but for self-respect. Do you respect your time, or do you waste it on distractions? Do you treat others with the grace and kindness of someone who doesn't need to prove their worth? These are all signs of a wealthy mindset. Rich people don't just have money, they have habits, systems, and standards that support a life of value. We often think wealth is about owning more, but it's also about needing less. A rich mindset is not about hoarding. It's about freedom. Freedom to create, to give, to explore, to build, to lead. And that kind of freedom starts long before the money shows up. It starts when you choose not to be controlled by your circumstances. It starts when you take full responsibility for your life and stop waiting for a miracle. You become the miracle by changing the way you think, talk, and act. Today, you might be working a job you don't love right now, living in a situation that feels limited, but if your vision is bigger than your environment, your time is coming, but you have to act like it. You have to prepare like it. You have to manage your current responsibilities like someone who is preparing for promotion, because if you can't handle the small things, why would life trust you with bigger ones? If you're sloppy with a little, you'll be sloppy with a lot. So the time to develop a wealthy mindset is not when the money hits your account, it's before. Think about athletes. They don't start training the moment they get signed. They've already been training, already been grinding, already been disciplined. The contract only reflects the commitment they made long before anyone was watching. The same goes for you. The money, the business, the recognition, they're all outcomes. The real game happens behind the scenes in silence and consistency and faith. You need to stop telling yourself that money will fix your life. Money only amplifies who you are. If you're irresponsible now, you'll be irresponsible with more. If you're generous, wise, and focused now, that character will multiply with success. So the goal isn't to chase money. The goal is to become the kind of person that money is attracted to. The goal is to become so valuable, so consistent, so grounded that opportunities come looking for you. And you understand that wealth begins in the mind. You start living differently. You stop comparing yourself to others. You stop chasing quick fixes. You start investing time where it matters. You start saying no to distractions. You protect your peace, your focus, and your vision. You build relationships with people who challenge you to grow. And most importantly, you carry yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who knows exactly where they're headed. Because if you know that your future is rich, rich in purpose, rich in impact, rich in fulfillment, you don't need validation today. You just need direction. So walk in that direction with faith, fire, and focus. The money will come, but the mindset must come first. Acting rich before the money comes is not about pretending to be something you're not. It's about aligning your thoughts, behavior, and lifestyle with the person you're becoming. It's about walking, talking, and living like the successful version of yourself before anyone else sees it. The power lies not in illusion, but in preparation. When you act in alignment with your future self, you send a signal to your subconscious mind, to the universe, and to everyone around you that you are ready. You're not waiting for the blessing, you're building the foundation to hold it. Too many people are waiting for success to knock on their door before they change their lives. They say, I'll wake up early once I'm running my own business, or I'll get disciplined when I start making money. That's backward thinking. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. If your daily habits don't reflect success, then you're not truly preparing for it. Acting like you're rich before the money comes means stepping into your future identity. Now, it means you stop basing your decisions on your current circumstances and start making choices based on where you're headed. You want to be wealthy? Then start managing your time like a wealthy person. Rich people value their time because they know it's their most precious asset. Every second they waste is an opportunity lost. They plan their day. They eliminate distractions. They move with urgency and focus. Start doing the same. Don't wait until you're booked with meetings to learn how to prioritize. Practice it now. Wake up early. Plan your day. Focus on what moves the needle. You don't need money to create a productive lifestyle. You just need discipline and clarity. When you align yourself with your future identity, you begin to develop behaviors that attract success. Think about the people you admire, the ones who are doing what you dream of doing. Do they procrastinate? Do they let fear dictate their decisions? Or do they show up every day with purpose, even when they don't feel like it? That's the energy you need to tap into. Acting like you're rich is about consistency. It's not about showing off, it's about showing up. Day in and day out, even when no one is watching. You can start right where you are. Look at your environment. Does it reflect where you want to be or where you've been? You don't need luxury furniture or designer clothes to live in excellence. Clean your space. Organize your surroundings. Create an environment that breeds focus, creativity, and discipline. It doesn't matter how small your apartment is or what your income is today. Order and intention create a powerful energy that mirrors wealth. When you treat your space with respect, you're training your mind to value what you have, and that opens the door for more. Then there's the way you speak. Your words shape your world. Rich people speak with clarity, confidence, and vision. They don't constantly talk about what they lack. They talk about what they're building. They speak in terms of strategy, goals, and value. If you constantly say, I'm broke, I can't, or that's impossible, you are anchoring yourself to lack. Replace those words with empowering language. Say, I'm preparing for abundance, I'm building something great, or I'm becoming more valuable every day. This isn't delusion, it's declaration. And your brain responds to it. Acting like your future self also means thinking differently. Rich people don't think in terms of expenses, they think in terms of investments. They don't ask how much does it cost, they ask what's the return. This mindset can start small. Maybe you don't have thousands to invest right now, but how are you using your current resources? Are you spending your time binge watching shows or learning a skill that can generate income? Are you spending your money on entertainment or on tools that can help you grow? Wealthy thinking starts with intentional choices. Your relationships also matter. Who you surround yourself with can either fuel your future or keep you stuck. Acting like you're rich means aligning with people who challenge your thinking, encourage your vision, and embody the kind of life you're aiming for. Don't wait until you're successful to network with driven individuals. Start building relationships now. Be someone worth knowing. Add value. Share ideas. Support others. When you show up as your future self, the right people will take notice. And let's talk about energy. Wealth is not just about dollars. It's about how you carry yourself. It's about your posture, your presence, your tone. Walk into every room like you belong there, not arrogantly, but confidently. Not because of what you have, but because of who you are becoming. When you carry yourself with purpose and poise, you invite respect, collaboration, and new doors to open. People feel energy. They know when you're serious. They can sense when you're grounded in purpose or when you're faking it. So ground yourself, get clear on who you are, and let that version of you lead. All of this becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you act like the person you want to be, you start making choices that reinforce that identity. You stop settling. You stop wasting time. You stop fearing judgment. And eventually the world around you starts to reflect what's been happening inside you all along. The money shows up. The clients call. The opportunities come. Not because you pretended, but because you prepared. Not because you faked wealth, but because you embodied value. So remember, this isn't about showing off, it's about showing up. It's not about pretending to be rich, it's about preparing for richness. You're not lying to yourself, you're telling the truth before the world sees it. You're walking by vision, not by sight. And that's where the real power lies. Act like you're rich before the money comes, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because you're building the habits, the discipline, and the mindset to receive it when it does. Creating habits that reflect your desired lifestyle is one of the most powerful steps you can take toward achieving real success and wealth. It's not about waiting for success to appear before acting successful. It's about developing the behaviors, routines, and standards that naturally attract the results you want. The truth is, success isn't something you chase. It's something you become through repetition, consistency, and discipline. You don't get rich and then act accordingly. You act accordingly and then you get rich. Habits are the invisible architecture of your life. They shape how you spend your time, how you manage your energy, how you respond to challenges, and how you think. Your future is hidden in your daily routine. If your habits are weak, reactive, and driven by impulse, you'll stay stuck. But if your habits are intentional, empowering, and focused on growth, your future becomes unstoppable. Your bank account is just a reflection of the habits you've built over time. Look at the daily lives of the successful, those who have built wealth, impact, and freedom. They don't stumble into success by accident. They have systems, they have routines that protect their focus, build their skills, and maximize their output. They wake up early to take control of the day. They prioritize their health and mindset. They plan their goals and track their progress. These habits didn't start once they became rich. These habits were in place long before the money arrived. That's how they earned it. That's how they kept it. If you want to be rich, then build the habits that rich people follow. Start small, but start today. Wake up with purpose. You don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. like some motivational videos say, but wake up early enough to command your morning. Don't let the day happen to you. Happen to the day. Read, journal, set intentions, train your mind before the world distracts it. Even 30 minutes of quiet discipline in the morning can create momentum that carries through the entire day. Next, focus on how you manage your money. Even if you only have a little, wealthy people don't just earn money, they manage it wisely. Start with budgeting. Know where every dollar is going. Allocate money toward growth. Books, online courses, savings, side hustles before spending on non-essential pleasures. Learn to live below your means while maintaining a mindset of growth and expansion. Rich habits include tracking your finances, avoiding impulsive spending, and planning for the future, not just surviving the present. Another habit that defines successful people is self-education. The world's wealthiest individuals are almost always avid learners. They read daily. They consume content that expands their mindset and sharpens their skills. You don't have to be in a classroom to grow. Information is everywhere. Make it a habit to read at least 10 pages a day. Listen to podcasts. Watch interviews. Follow mentors online. Trade time spent scrolling aimlessly for time invested in building knowledge. Knowledge compounds, and in today's world, knowledge is currency. Health is another critical piece of the puzzle. Your body is the vehicle that carries your dreams, and neglecting it will cost you physically, emotionally, and financially. Wealthy people understand the importance of energy, focus, and longevity. They move their bodies, eat for performance, sleep with intention, and monitor their health. Build the habit of daily exercise, even if it's just 20 minutes. Stay hydrated. Get quality rest. These small habits create massive returns over time. A strong body supports a sharp mind, and a sharp mind is your greatest wealth-building tool. Then there's the habit of goal setting. Rich people don't leave their lives up to chance. They have vision. They write down their goals. They revisit them constantly. Make goal setting a habit. Don't just dream, plan. Set specific, measurable, time-bound goals. Break them into daily actions. Review your progress weekly. Celebrate wins and adjust when necessary. When your goals become your compass, your actions become aligned and your momentum becomes unstoppable. Also, build the habit of emotional discipline. Wealthy people don't let their emotions dictate their decisions. They practice self-control. They respond with clarity instead of reacting with panic. Learn to pause, reflect, and make decisions from a place of logic and long-term thinking. Emotional control is a habit that separates amateurs from professionals, and it's often the difference between building wealth and losing it. Whether it's staying calm in a business deal or resisting the urge to spend impulsively, emotional mastery is non-negotiable. Surrounding yourself with the right people is a habit too. Rich individuals are intentional about their environment. They associate with people who elevate their thinking and challenge their standards. They understand the power of proximity. Make it a habit to connect with like-minded individuals. Join groups, attend events, seek mentorship, and cut out toxic influences. Who you spend time with is who you become. Your circle should push you toward your goals, not distract you from them. Lastly, develop the habit of thinking long-term. Poor habits focus on the now. Rich habits focus on the future. Don't chase instant gratification. Invest in delayed success. That might mean saying no to short-term pleasures in favor of long-term results. It might mean working late while others relax. It might mean saving when others are spending. But every sacrifice you make in the short term becomes a foundation for your future freedom. Wealth isn't built overnight. It's built over time through daily disciplined choices. So if you want to act rich before the money comes, don't focus on looking the part. Focus on living the habits. Let your life reflect excellence, even in the smallest details. Show the world that you're not waiting for money to change you. You're changing yourself to prepare for money. Because when the habits are in place, the money becomes a byproduct. You don't need to chase it. It comes to you, drawn by the consistency, discipline, and value you've built within yourself. Wealthy people don't just do things differently, they do different things daily. Let every choice, every routine, every step reflect your future, not your present. The habits you build today determine the life you live tomorrow. And when your habits reflect the lifestyle you're aiming for, the results are no longer a matter of if, they're a matter of when. Energy and presentation attract opportunities in ways most people underestimate. How you carry yourself, how you show up, and the energy you bring into every room speak volumes before you ever say a word. People form impressions in seconds, and those impressions often determine the kind of opportunities, connections, and respect you receive. Acting like you're rich before the money comes doesn't mean being fake or trying to impress others with luxury. It means embodying a level of self-respect, purpose, and presence that invites success. The world reflects back to you the way you present yourself to it. Think about it. When you see someone walking with their shoulders back, making eye contact, speaking with clarity, and moving with intention, what do you assume about them? Confidence, competence, leadership. Now think about someone who slouches, avoids eye contact, speaks timidly, and seems unsure of themselves. Do you trust them? Do you feel drawn to follow them? Probably not. The difference isn't wealth, it's presence. And presence is a choice. It's a habit. It's a mindset. You don't need money to stand tall, speak clearly, and carry yourself like you believe in your value. Opportunities are not always handed to the most talented or the most experienced. They're often given to the most prepared and the most compelling. If you don't look like you're ready for the opportunity you want, it might pass you by and land on someone who does. Your presentation isn't just about appearance, it's about energy. It's about how you make others feel. Do you bring a sense of confidence, optimism, and focus into the room, or do you bring doubt, chaos, and hesitation? Every room you walk into is a stage, and you are always auditioning for your future. This doesn't mean you need to dress in designer brands or fake a lifestyle. It means you need to show that you care about yourself and your goals. Neatness, grooming, posture, and body language are subtle cues that tell the world how seriously you take yourself. Show up like you're expecting to meet opportunity around any corner. Speak like your words matter. Shake hands with intention. Make eye contact. Smile with authenticity. These little behaviors create an energy that people trust and are drawn to. Beyond physical presentation, energy is a deeper force. It's the invisible vibe you give off, whether you're tired or motivated, desperate or disciplined, scattered or focused. People pick up on your energy even if they can't explain why. That's why it's so important to protect and cultivate your inner state. If you're constantly anxious, bitter, or insecure, that energy leaks into every conversation, every interaction, and every opportunity. But if you're grounded, grateful, and goal-driven, people feel that too, and they want to be part of it. So how do you generate magnetic energy before the money comes? Start by getting clear on your purpose. When you know what you're building, why you're doing it, and where you're headed, you carry yourself differently. You don't speak from a place of neediness, you speak from a place of vision. Purpose creates presence. When your actions align with your goals, your energy becomes focused and powerful. People are naturally drawn to that kind of clarity. Next, manage your emotions. Emotional chaos repels opportunities, while emotional control attracts them. That doesn't mean you never feel stress or fear. It means you don't let those emotions dominate your state. Learn to self-regulate. Breathe, reflect, stay calm under pressure. The ability to control your emotions is a sign of leadership, and people want to work with, invest in, and follow those who display that kind of maturity. Also, fuel your energy. Your physical and mental habits directly impact how you feel and perform. Eat well, move daily, sleep consistently, stay hydrated. These aren't just health tips, they're performance strategies. When your body feels good, your mind is sharper. When your mind is clear, your energy is stronger. You show up with more confidence, more enthusiasm, and more capacity. And when that becomes your norm, success becomes easier to attract. Watch your speech too. How you speak about yourself, your goals, and your circumstances reveals your inner reality. Speak positively, but truthfully. Speak as someone who expects good things, even in hard seasons. Avoid gossip, complaining, and small talk that drains energy. Speak life, speak vision, and speak solutions. When you consistently express yourself with strength and clarity, others begin to see you as someone worth listening to. And in your work, give your best. Excellence is attractive, even if you're working a job you don't love or you're building a business that hasn't taken off yet. The energy you bring to your current task creates momentum. People notice excellence, they notice consistency, they notice effort. Many doors open simply because someone saw you taking your current role seriously. So take pride in your performance regardless of where you are financially. Your attitude towards small things determines your readiness for big things. Surround yourself with high-energy people. Energy is contagious. If you constantly interact with people who complain, doubt, or settle, their energy will pull you down. But when you're around individuals who strive for more, who push themselves, who carry themselves like they're already successful, you start to level up just by being in their presence. Make it a habit to spend time in environments that challenge your standards and feed your motivation. And above all, believe in yourself. Confidence is magnetic. People want to partner with those who believe in their own mission. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need every credential. You just need belief. When you walk like you know where you're going, even if the path is still unfolding, others are more willing to follow, support, or invest in you. Your energy and presentation are not about acting. They're about alignment. Align yourself with the future you're building, and everything about you begins to speak that future into existence. Before the money arrives, let your energy be the proof that it's already on its way. Let your presence say, I'm ready. Let your habits, your posture, your speech, your decisions, all of it, reflect the wealth you know is coming. Because when opportunity knocks, it doesn't wait around for you to get ready. It shows up to those who are already prepared. So stand tall, show up strong. Let your presence announce your purpose long before your bank account does. That's how the world begins to see what you've believed all along, that you're already rich on the inside. Success is not defined by how much money you make, but by the kind of person you become, to earn and maintain it. Getting rich is one thing, but staying rich is another, and the difference between the two often lies in character. Wealth without character is temporary. It crumbles under pressure, falls apart with distractions, and gets lost in bad decisions. But when your character is strong, when it's built on discipline, integrity, and consistency, success becomes sustainable. That's why it's essential to start building the person who can handle success before the success shows up. Many people want quick money. They chase shortcuts, schemes, and luck because they believe money alone will change everything. And sure, it might change your surroundings. It might buy a bigger house, a nicer car, or a better vacation. But if you haven't developed the habits, discipline, and mindset to manage wealth, it will eventually slip through your fingers. The world is full of stories about people who came into sudden wealth, lottery winners, athletes, entertainers, only to lose it all. Not because they lacked opportunity, but because they lacked the inner structure to handle it. Character is what sustains wealth. It's what keeps you grounded when the numbers in your bank account grow. Without character, money magnifies your flaws. If you're impulsive, money gives you more ways to be reckless. If you're insecure, money amplifies the need to impress others. If you lack discipline, money becomes a tool of destruction rather than empowerment. But if you are grounded, focused, and wise, money becomes a multiplier of your values. It helps you serve more, build more, and live more purposefully. So the real goal is not to chase wealth, but to build the kind of person who deserves it and can manage it. That starts with daily choices. How do you handle pressure now? Do you fold when things get hard, or do you stay the course? How do you treat others when no one's watching? Do you live with honesty, or do you cut corners when it's convenient? How do you spend your time? Are you investing in your growth, or wasting precious hours on distractions? These small decisions are the bricks of character. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you reinforce your foundation. Every time you choose truth over ease, you strengthen your core. Every time you stay focused on the long term, instead of chasing instant gratification, you develop the muscle of patience. And patience is essential for real wealth. Money doesn't change who you are. It reveals who you are. So if you want to be successful and stay that way, start shaping the person who will hold that success with strength and grace. Staying rich requires structure. It requires financial discipline, yes, but more importantly, it requires emotional maturity. Can you handle the stress that comes with high-level decisions? Can you stay humble when you win and resilient when you lose? These are character traits. They're not built overnight. They're built in seasons of testing, when things are slow, when progress feels invisible, and when it seems easier to quit. That's why it's important to embrace the grind now. Every struggle you overcome now is preparing you to hold more later. Real wealth builders don't just focus on making money, they focus on preserving and growing it. That requires a long-term mindset, strategic thinking, and the willingness to delay gratification. It requires saying no to things that feel good in the moment, but could sabotage your future. Staying rich means you don't let lifestyle creep steal your discipline. It means you don't fall into the trap of spending just to prove something. It means you live below your means, even when you don't have to, because freedom matters more than flash. It also means surrounding yourself with the right people. Success can be lonely if you don't build your circle intentionally. When you're growing, not everyone can go with you. You need people who hold you accountable, who challenge you to keep rising, and who don't let you settle. Your circle should reflect your standards, not your history. If you want to stay rich, not just financially, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you need people around you who push you to grow in every area. Integrity is one of the most powerful tools for sustaining wealth. When your word is good, doors stay open. When people trust you, opportunities follow. Your reputation becomes more valuable than any dollar in your account. You could lose everything tomorrow, but if your name is respected, you can build again. That's the kind of wealth that lasts. So protect your integrity. Keep your promises. Be honest. Even when it costs you. Do the right thing when no one is watching. That's how you build a legacy, not just a bank account. Another critical part of staying rich is remaining teachable. The moment you think you know it all, you stop growing. The most successful people are lifelong learners. They stay curious. They seek wisdom. They listen more than they talk. They're not afraid to admit what they don't know. This humility keeps them sharp and open to new ideas. It protects them from arrogance, which is the fastest way to fall. Stay hungry, even when you're winning. Success is not a destination. It's a responsibility. Finally, staying rich means having a purpose bigger than yourself. Money is not the goal. It's a tool. If all you care about is personal gain, you'll feel empty even when your account is full. But when you attach your wealth to purpose, to building something meaningful, to helping others, to leaving something behind, your wealth gains power. It becomes a force for good. And that's the kind of wealth that doesn't just last a lifetime, it lasts generations. So build character now. Don't wait for money to show up before you start acting like someone who deserves it. Be disciplined, honest, teachable, and intentional. Show up every day as the person your future requires. Because when you finally reach the success you've been working for, your character will be the container that holds it all together. And without it, all the wealth in the world won't matter. Success may open the door, but character is what keeps you in the room. Faith and vision must drive your actions now, not later, not someday, but right now, while the bank account is still low, while the business is still just an idea, while the world doesn't yet recognize what you're capable of. Waiting until the money arrives to start behaving like a successful person is backward thinking. You don't need to see the full staircase to take the first step. The path to wealth, success, and fulfillment begins when you start moving with belief in what you can't yet see. That's the essence of faith. Moving forward with conviction when there's no physical proof, just an inner knowing that you're destined for more. Vision is the ability to see beyond your current circumstances. It's the internal blueprint of the life you are building, even when the outside world looks nothing like it. When you have vision, you don't let temporary setbacks distract you. You don't get discouraged by slow progress. You don't abandon your mission when things feel hard. Instead, you keep showing up, keep pushing, and keep planting seeds, knowing that harvest takes time. A person with vision is dangerous because they can't be stopped by what they see. They're guided by something deeper, something future-focused and anchored in purpose. Faith, on the other hand, is the fuel that keeps vision alive. It's the belief that even though results may not be visible today, your work, your habits, and your preparation are not in vain. Faith is what gets you up early, keeps you grinding when no one's clapping, and pushes you to keep improving even when there's no applause. Faith tells you, keep going, your time is coming. And that belief, that unshakable inner fire, is often the only thing standing between you and breakthrough. Many people quit too early, not because they lack talent, but because they lacked faith. So why must you act now with faith and vision? Because life responds to action, not intention. You can talk about your dreams all day, but if your actions don't align with those dreams, they stay fantasies. Vision without movement is just imagination. Faith without action is dead. If you believe that wealth is your future, then let your schedule reflect it. Let your habits show it. Let your attitude scream it. Get in alignment now, not later. Move like you're expecting results. Speak like you're preparing for elevation. Think like someone who's on the verge of a breakthrough, even if all you have is a seed in the soil. Most people wait for the perfect time to start acting successful. They say things like, once I have more money, I'll get disciplined, or once I have more free time, I'll start my business. But the truth is, you'll never get more of what you want until you do more with what you already have. Faith takes what little you've got and multiplies it through movement. Don't underestimate small beginnings. Don't despise the humble start. Greatness is often born in obscurity. It's in the moments when nobody's watching that real leaders are formed. If you wait for conditions to be perfect before you start building your future, you'll be waiting forever. Faith steps out before the door opens. It prepares even when the invitation hasn't arrived. It builds the business, sharpens the skills, shows up early, and stays late, all in expectation that the vision will manifest. You've got to walk like it's already yours. Prepare your life to receive what you're asking for. Clean up your habits. Upgrade your thinking. Align your actions with the person you're becoming, not the person you've been. And yes, people may not understand you. They may say, why are you working so hard for something that doesn't even exist yet? Let them talk. Visionaries always look crazy before they look brilliant. Faith-driven people are often misunderstood by those who need to see before they believe. But your job is not to convince them, it's to keep moving. Let your results speak for you in time. Keep your eyes on the goal, not the noise. The power of acting with faith and vision is that it transforms you. You start to become the person your dreams require. You stop waiting for external validation and start finding strength within. You grow tougher, wiser, and more resilient. Every challenge becomes a stepping stone instead of a roadblock. And that transformation is priceless because when the money does come, when the opportunities do arrive, you'll be ready. You won't be overwhelmed. You won't crumble under pressure. You'll rise because you've been preparing in the dark. Your faith must be louder than your fear. Fear says, what if I fail? Faith says, what if I win? Fear looks at the mountain and says it's too high. Faith looks at the same mountain and says, one step at a time, I'll climb it. Faith doesn't deny difficulty, it just refuses to be controlled by it. And vision gives that faith direction. It's your why, your internal compass, your reason to keep pushing. So ask yourself, what kind of future am I building? And does my current behavior reflect belief in that future? If you say you want to be wealthy, are you studying wealth? Are you practicing discipline? Are you saving, investing, learning? If you believe you're destined for greatness, does your routine support that belief or does it contradict it? These are the hard questions that separate dreamers from doers. Everything you want is on the other side of consistency. And consistency is only possible when you're moved by vision and fueled by faith. That's how you keep going when it gets hard. That's how you keep believing when nothing seems to work. That's how you keep acting rich before the money comes, because your internal certainty is louder than your external circumstances. So don't wait, don't delay, don't pause your potential because the money isn't here yet. Act like it's already done. Speak like it's already yours. Show up like the person who's already living the dream. Faith and vision are the soil in which success is planted. Nurture them, water them, live by them, and watch your harvest grow. Because if you can hold the vision long enough and keep the faith strong enough, the world won't have a choice but to catch up to the reality you've been living on the inside.